How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day. Today's subject matter, I will be talking about Social Security. Now, not saying anything bad about it, not saying anything good about it. I think it's good on a lot of levels. And as far as I have nothing really derogatory to say about Social Security, but what I am saying is, given the fact that one's average salary within the United States is about between, and I'm talking about adults here, it's about between $35,000 and $55,000 a year across the United States of America. Obviously, the salaries vary depending on the state a lot of times because if your state doesn't have a state income tax and if the cost of living is cheaper, then the incentive for a lot of employers to pay you above average is just not really there unless you're bringing enough quality, it's a kind of quality of work and whatnot. That's why I always say if you are moving to a cheaper state, then you're like, yeah, it's cheaper. I'm going to save X amount of dollars. Then what are you doing with those extra dollars? Are you buying crap, or are you actually going to invest it? You're going to pay off a mortgage. You're going to, buy some land. What are you really going to do outside of be able to save more money? That's the new mindset we need to all develop if you're going to move. Because you have a lot of people that will move to a foreign country, quote unquote, third world country. And it's easier if you have specific amount of money you generate a year in a foreign country, and you can live high off the hog. So I'm not saying anything bad off of a third world country or the United States, but if you move to Texas, but if you move to Ghana, the cost of living is cheaper. If you move to Mexico, the cost of living is cheaper. If you move to Panama, the cost of living is cheaper. I can keep going on here. You know what I mean? But what are you doing with your money outside of just living? If you're retired, it's a different story. But even then, we're living in a world where even for people that are in retirement are going to have a good amount of income in order for them to retire. Now, when it comes to the good old Social Security benefits, I do not think that most Americans calculate, which one can do online for free. I've done it myself, actually calculate the numbers, even though they do have a real retirement plan that is going to benefit them and their families. This is a big, big question, family. Do they even know, and I mean they, I just mean people in general, where they're going to retire as far as a state, city, or country? And I think more and more people need to start developing this mindset once they get into their 30s. And hey, things happen, life changes, but it's good to plan these things out because if you don't plan for anything in life, life will plan something for you. That's just how I look at life. One thing that I read the other day is that the average retired worker in the United States gets more than 15 about $1,500 a month from Social Security, in 2020. But it's not all encompassing. It's whatnot. That's considered on the higher end for some people, lower end for some people. Just depends on how you look at it in your different situation. With nearly 9 in 10 people at the age of 65 and older receiving benefits, the system is an essential part of retiring for most. However, in every single state across America, $1,500 a month is basically at the poverty level, especially if one has to pay rent, a mortgage, etc. And I say that not saying that $1,500 isn't a decent amount of money, but if that's all you're getting and you got nothing else going on, as far as, I'm not even saying a job, but just something to draw money from, then I have to, wonder how you're going to basically survive. Are you living with somebody? Do you have a place that's paid off? Even then, you still, no matter what state you live in, you're going to have to pay the crazy thing called personal property taxes on your house, whether you have a mortgage or you don't. You can live in California or Texas. Taxes might be less, but you're still going to have to pay taxes on your house. So with the cost of food going up, and we've seen that, and additional medical costs / attention that one will be needed when one gets older, most understand that having a multitude of financial backup plans is definitely in your best interest. Can't put it any other way. One thing that we all need to remember is that when one is qualified to even receive Social Security payments, the amount that one receives every month is based on one's income that they earned before they reached quote unquote retirement age. One thing is definitely clear for me, that Social Security was not designed to be one sole source of income for retirement, and the totals are always and always changing. So one definitely needs to be serious about saving for retirement. Okay. And remember another thing, retirement is not an age, it's income. I've heard that saying and I'm sticking with it. All right. This is the ultimate reason that, it behooves you, me, and every single person that's watching to take their finances way more serious outside of saving money. with my generation and millennial generation, Social Security payments are most likely the last thing on our minds. We are paying into it every single time that we are getting paid on our paychecks, but most of us do not take the 5 to 10 minutes to do our own research and do the calculations to see what the actual monthly payments are going to be. I just think it's in everyone's best interest to do that, especially now that a lot of employers, this is another good thing, have opted to participate in the Social Security tax cuts that are taking place for the rest of the year in 2020. Basically, and to sum it all up, basically the amount of money that you would come out of one's paycheck from Social Security is going to remain in their paycheck. So say if you were getting $300 taken out of Social Security, or how much that money will be in your paycheck for the rest of the year. All right. But the caveat is, in January 2021 to April 2021, that same amount of money is supposed to be paid back by you or your employer. Like I said, everyone's situation is different, so I'm not just going to make a blanket statement. If your employer is participating in this, talk to them and obviously go from there. Like I said, I'm not going to call out somebody else's employer when every situation is different, because you have employers that have the option of opting out. So it wasn't forced. So you have a chance of opting out. Some are participating, some aren't. There you go. When you have options, that's when I always say, when you have options, I don't have an issue with a situation. It's when you're forced to always have to constantly do something. That's when, the complications come into play. All right. But that's just life, And it's interesting, where it's at. I know a lot of people are happy about it because, for one reason, like, hey, it's giving me the opportunity to save more money, even though I might have to pay it back, or my employer is going to have to pay it back. It worked definitely for those that if it's just their employer paying it back and they're not going to have to pay it back, it's going to work out in their best interest. And I'm not a financial planner, but I say, if you're getting this extra money, do the great 2 smart things: consult a financial professional, save, and invest. If you're not going to invest, then at least save, because having a significant amount of savings in today's world, yesterday's world, and tomorrow's world definitely behooves you, me, and the entire family. All right. Now, this measure was, like I said, at the end of the day, it was put into place in order to boost the consumer spending, because consumer spending has been down tremendously this whole year due to, obviously, COVID-19. Okay, and one thing we know, America needs high consumer spending for the economy to function. No matter who the president is, no matter who the governor is, no matter who the mayor is, councilman, senator, congressman, all of that is irrelevant. Money needs to be spent to keep any country afloat. But it definitely needs to be spent in the United States of America. America, for the most part, is a corporation. Anything wrong with that? Absolutely not. Okay, but that money has to be spent in order for the economy to function, no matter who's in office. All right, and hey, for me, which I'm not giving, like I said, I'm not giving out any financial advice. I'm just stating that what I'm doing with my extra money, I'm just simply saving it for a rainy day, because you just never know. Because my employer is participating in the Social Security tax cut, so it's all good. But it's your money, and you have to do what's best for you at the end of the day. If your employers participate in Social Security tax cut measures, like I stated earlier, find out from them and go from there, and just have we'll see what happens. And keep it simple at the end of the day. All right. Now, on that note, we work carrot bars. Now we're going into FreeBay, and FreeBay is going to be launching in a couple of days. You're going to have the opportunity, if you want to be able to purchase gold, purchase cryptocurrencies, and get access to more additional information to the FreeBay Academy. We're transitioning. It's going to be awesome, and I'm looking forward to it. And the more I learn, you learn, and then we go from there. So do the great 3 free things: like, share, and subscribe, family. As always, make money moves, and remember, you can't get fired if you own the company. It's 2020 going into 2021. It's time to own something, family. All right? Take care and have a great day.